Okay, here I am. One of the jobs is to try and catch up with some old boys. So I got young Zane here, 21 years old. All right, first question for me is tell the viewers a little bit about your background and your pathway, how long you're at TSS, were you at the prep, and what happened in your final couple of years?
Oh yeah, first came to TSS in year 5 in 2011, and then stayed here the whole way through to year 12, and came here, played my first game of rugby union here in the 5Bs, and then just kept playing footy on there, and then made the first in 2017, and was able to win 2 premierships with them in 2017 and 19. And after graduation, went into the Reds Academy straight after school, and then basically that year got invited to train with the top squad and was able to make my debut from the bench. So yeah. Pretty
exciting. So started off in some lower teams, and then you were always a big lad at school. I think everyone thought you were older than everybody else when you were playing at the junior school. So was there a stage where any of the coaches said, look, we think you've got a bit of a future in this game, you need to up your training?
Yeah, probably when I was around 15, I was pretty a pretty chubby kid, obviously pretty big. And around then was when AB and Wall kind of pulled me aside and said, if you want to, it started off if you just want to make first, you got to lose some weight and get a bit fitter. And then after that, played good for my first 2 years. And then the Reds kind of had a look at me in my year 12 year, and they kind of recruited me from there.
So you played a bit of rep rugby, and then you played for Queensland Academy, not Queensland Schools, but Queensland Academy. Was that a good thing for you to suddenly thinking, well, I can mix it with these guys and play, at the highest level?
Yeah, I had taken part in schools before, but then in our year 12 they kind of changed it to the 18 setup with the academy. I think that was really good for me and all the other boys, because we were playing against 18-year-olds who had played. Some of them had played against men in Premier Rugby, so I guess we got to get a bit of taste of how intense they had to train and play, just to mix it with those. So I think it was a really good change into the academy setup.
So I suppose some of the boys who play in the front row want to know what your ideal weight is. I have seen you training on the grounds in the off season, and you've played against people like James Slipper. So what's your weight now, and how many sessions do you train a week?
I'm weighing in around 126 at the moment, 127. That's probably my ideal weight, probably 127 to 125, like that range. In pre-season, it can get as low as 122. But I come down here and train a couple extra sessions during the pre-season just to keep my weight down and get a bit more fitness in. But and then during the season we train probably 4 times a week, and then play on Saturday. And in pre-season it can be 5 or 6 sessions a week depending on the week.
So there was a bit of social media around the start of the season for the Reds, and I saw a lot of pictures up. You were the face of the round on Saturday. Do you follow much social media, reports of the games, or are you one of these guys that doesn't sort of look at it too much?
I try and not really follow or read into that too much. I just kind of use social media to keep up with my friends and family and friends from school and that. I don't really try and look into a lot of the rugby news on that, because some of it can be a bit negative, and don't really want that in the head before games or training.
No, that's good. And what do you do as in the not the off season, but when you're not playing a game? Have you got any hobbies, or do you just come down to the coast? What do you do, just to freshen up and not think rugby all the time?
Yeah, on our off days I come down back to the Gold Coast. As you said, my family still lives just around the corner, so I come down here, hang out with my mates, maybe go to the beach or get some breakfast with them and throw the footy around, or just play. Yeah, obviously I got Spence, Tonga, 2 Blythes, and up here at the Reds now, so it's good to have them in the team. And then I also stay in touch with a lot of my old mates from school, and not just people in my grade, there's boys from 2 or 3, 4 years older, a couple of years younger that I still talk to and hang out with quite a bit. So we still have a couple of memories about the old days back at TSS, and have a good laugh.
And when you first left school, you went to Bond University, so that was a good club structure, and you signed up for a degree there. Are you finding that you've got time to do any study, or have you just put it on hold?
I went into law at Bond, and that was pretty intense for my first year. And then as the years went on, I kind of dropped back a bit in subjects depending on how heavy the load is with training. In pre-season, I'll do less subjects, or just because we train most days of the week, the whole day. So it's hard to kind of fit school into there. But then, you know, during our off season or when there's less training, to try and get a bit more done.
Came on today, absolutely zinging out of his skin, and that's Wallaby 966, and that's Zane Nonggorr. If you had a little bit of advice to a young player coming through at TSS, what would that be?
Probably one of the piece of advice that stuck with me throughout my whole journey is if you don't let not working hard be the reason that you don't, I guess, make it in anything you want. If you don't make it because you're not good enough, then it's kind of, you know, it hurts. But if it's something that you can control, like just the effort you put in and how hard you work, you should be able to, I guess, do the most you can in that area and make that the reason, make that not the reason that you don't make it.
Yep. Sorry about the noise in the background, and we've got our cricketers warming up for their premiership game at the weekend, and the groundsman's cutting the grass. But thanks for coming down, Zane, and wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Cheers, thank you.
All right.